And welcome to another Bbnaija Lockdown Reunion 2021 review. It's always a mouthful to say. It's the Big Brother Naija to all. Praise was like, he's saying, remember when he was telling Kidwaya that Prace's ex-fiancé now was older than him by several years. Prace said that would hurt his ex-fiancée so much that she broke up with him, and he demanded an apology from Brighto. Brighto insisted, like, guy, I don't owe you no apology. I didn't say nothing wrong, blah blah blah. Praise didn't want to escalate the matter, so he just said to let the matter die, and then it died. And then it got to Lilo and Vee. Remember that Lilo went the first week or the second week thereabout, the first eviction. That was when Lilo left the house, and Ebuka was like, okay, Vee, you nominated Lilo. You guys are supposed to be friends in the house, but not. And Vee was like, well, I didn't think Lilo wanted to be in the house as much as the others. We wanted to be in the house because she was always with the man, she was always with Eric. And Lilo took offense to that word, saying, you were my friend. Of every other person that was nominated, okay, understandable, everybody wanted Katrina out. Then you decided that of Praise, Eric, and myself, you needed me out of the house. And Vee said, see, I can't take what I've done back, and I apologized to you when I saw you outside of the house and whatnot, but then you're still trying to drag it. I thought we moved past it. And Lilo was like, the new thing you said, I was following a man. What made you? And Ebuka was like, why did you not ask her, right? Why did you not speak with her? Because Lilo was like, I spoke with you concerning you. We had conversations concerning the man in your life. So why did you not think it was okay for you to come say, Lilo, if I want to pipe it down, you're so much into this guy and it's not letting you shine, right? But then Vee refused to apologize. Ebuka just had to dead, but I don't want a commercial break. And then when they got back, it entered Tochi matter. Tochi, Katrina, and Lucy. Okay, first a clip was played where Dorathy was speaking with Lucy, and she was like, well, there was this person that when she greeted him the day before prior, he responded, and then the next day he was waiting for her to say hi first, and she refused to do it. She said in my opinion though, she said in a very vindictive manner, like there's a beef going on, right? And Lucy was like, you remember there's a food fight that Tochi had with Katrina and Lucy, where he insisted that they served him less food, and that if he does not cut onions or do something, he will not feed. And Lucy was like, the problem she had with him was that he was not ready or willing to contribute in the house. He just wanted to be fed because, well, someone is cooking, so automatically expected food, and every other person had contributed. And Katrina was like, okay, there is a clique. I'm definitely going to want to look after my clique first before I look after you, right? And himself and Katrina exchanged well. You know Tochi now, and the way Tochi speaks and his bad mouth and everything, he just kept saying Katrina should shut up, and Katrina refused to shut up. And I don't understand why you just tell someone to keep quiet. Do like, what the heck, who are you indeed? Because he kept asking Dorathy who she is, and like, really, Tochi, who are you? Like, you have to answer that question before you ask somebody who they are, because literally in the house you were following people, like Katrina and Lucy said. You were following people in the house trying to find you. I understand that in the first few weeks everybody was trying to find their place in the house, but then come on, man, there is a way you did, and it was just so vehement over food. I don't understand that kind of obsession. I mean, you want to eat, but whatever. Anyways, that happened, and he really raised his voice. He was really vehement and spoke about him not liking Katrina should take her bus to Ikorodu. And then he faced Dorathy because Ebuka had to ask him, like, okay, Ebuka first asked Dorathy why she said that about him, and she was like, okay, see, I'm not trying to put myself in the food situation. What I was saying was coming from a place of courtesy, because how would we be in the same room and then you shut up and you would wait for me to say hi to you first? Like, would you, like, is this some sort of seniority or something? And Tochi was like, I was not trying to play seniority or favoritism, we just didn't gel in the house. And he cited an example of when Katrina was evicted and Dorathy was all sulky about it. He wanted to reach out to her, and Dorathy literally shouted at him to not touch her. But then Praise walked up to her and she allowed him embrace, and was like, oh, okay, so I'm not wanted here, and things like that. Tochi, I feel like Tochi just felt in the house ostracized. He didn't connect with anybody in the house. He didn't feel like he was supposed to be there, or that they wanted him there, maybe because he didn't have as much experience as those people in the house. I mean, when I say experience, I mean when it comes to doing things outside, doing big things, although they will all claim that they were low-key in the house or whatever and whatnot. But Tochi it just had to end there because Ebuka had to go on a break because they didn't want the matter to end. And then came Nengi was in the equation again. Like, all the guys in the house had something for her and they all felt incapable of taking care of her. Now, according to Brighto in the clip, Mr. Nigeria stood no chance. That was even before Ozo came into the picture. All the clips that were shown was in the first few weeks in the house. Ozo was not in the picture. It was just Prince and Nengi. And Tochi and Brighto were having a conversation where Brighto was like, Prince does not have what it takes, right? And he reinstated it. He said it again that Prince was not financially capable in the house to take care of a girl like Nengi, because she was talking about having taken sponsored trips out of the country to several places with her passport and all of those things. And Prince could not afford that. And then Ebuka was like, okay, what do you think of Ozo? And I was like, okay, Ozo was not in the picture. And like, yeah, I know, but now in the house, when Ozo came in the picture, your personal opinion. And I was like, Ozo also was not capable. And Prince in his defense says, like he said to Neo when it was brought up at first, that okay, so the fact that you're not financially capable does not mean you should project that on someone else. But that they thinking he did not have money in the house was good for him, because then they didn't expect any financial help or whatever from him, so they won't come ask him, so it was in his favor and whatnot. And then that was the end of that conversation concerning concerning Nengi, Prince and whatnot. Then the other part of the conversation was that of Watoni, Ozo, Eric, Lilo and Tricky. See, now Watoni was booed up. She wanted to be booed up in the house. She was involved in everybody's love triangle equation. She just wanted to know something. So Tricky came to the garden and told Watoni, Bbnaija and them that okay, there's something going on with Lilo and Eric inside the house. What happened was, when they first came, Eric and Erica were the ones that were close, and then just like that, Lilo came into the picture and Erica was pushed aside, and it was Lilo and Eric. So they were discussing it in the garden, and then Tricky was like, I think Lilo and Eric are doing something in the room. Watoni, in typical Watoni manner, decided to go do peekaboo, and she liked gossip. She wanted to be involved in, I mean, really, it was just whack. And then she wanted to say it, and then she went under the guise of wanting to say hello to somebody, and then she saw Ozo and Erica in the living room talking, in the sitting room talking, and then she went into the room and then she saw Lilo and Eric, and then she came back to the garden to say, oh, I saw that coming. Like mad. And she had that discussion, and Ebuka was like really explaining that she was trying to be all political about it. Tricky had to speak up like, yeah, that was what I was talking about. But Watoni kept, I mean, I wonder why she's now changing out and saying it was all cruise, because she really made a t-shirt line out of the word booed up, and she was like, she also take somebody to talk with, and she didn't get it until her last week in the house with Brighto, that she didn't get, just wanted somebody to be our person, somebody should talk to me. But it doesn't have to be someone of the opposite sex. You were friends with Bbnaija, you were friends with Erica at one point in the house, you had female friends in the house. So, and then Tricky was your friend, although she claimed Tricky was everybody's friend. Yes, it was, but then you guys had a special connection, should I say. You guys were closer in the house, right? But then that was it. Tricky owned up to it, and when they asked Prince what he thought concerning Watoni, and he was like, she just wanted to be involved in everything. She just, well, that is it. And then when they asked Tricky how it felt to be the oldest in the house, Tricky was really just said, sometimes they do things and it's like, this is whack, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't be acting like this, and that he had to hold back severally in the house because he is old and is in a different space. He's in his 30s. These guys were in their 20s just trying to learn life, and the things that mattered to them was not what mattered to Tricky. It's not what matters to Tricky even outside of the house. And it was like, so yeah, I had to hold back a lot, but then it's all for the better, because I don't have a beef with anybody, and whatever thing I said or did in the house, I own with my full chest and whatnot. Anyways, that's it, guys, for day 10. There wasn't so much drama, so just a lot of acting out problems or gossips, trying to get their opinion. Ebuka was trying to fish for words, but then these guys decided to just smush. The only raising of voice that happened was with Tochi and Katrina and Lucy, and that was not very interesting to watch. But it was good to see that Katrina could lose her accent and speak when very provoked, because she said she does not like being lied on, and so she lost her accent and spoke to Tochi Nigerian to Nigerian. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Until then, take care of yourself and bye.